Hi everybody, it's Josh with Talk About Trek, and we're back again with something a little bit different. I'm still digging through Riansu and enjoying the second book in the saga, but today I was able to hit the flea market, so we've got some fabulous Star Trek flea market finds that I can show you here today. So, first off, and probably one of the strangest, is I've not seen these before, were these gigantic old coloring books that I found. On the side there. All right. They are in less than optimal condition, as you can see. Someone left this one with a bend, but they're completely intact and uncolored, just slightly wrinkled. But I mean, they really drew my eye. Look at the art here on that one. Kirk holding that little guy. So we got that one, which is titled The Uncharted World, and the other one, War in Space. So, pretty interesting finds for me. Like I said, I'd never seen them before. They're so big, I don't know where I'm going to put them in here, but I just couldn't say no. And the price, since they were, not in the greatest shape, was not too bad either. So, but let's get down to the real nitty gritty, because I want to talk about some Star Trek comics and Star Trek magazines. So let's dive in and have a look at those. So, like I said, hit the flea market today, and one guy that I always go to in particular had a couple of Trek comics out today. And here's the first one. And this is number 13 of the Marvel Comics run there. I haven't read through it yet, and I don't know exactly when I will, but just picked it up. I mean, it was cheap enough, the cover's cool, and just a nice thing to add to the collection. Now this next DC one here, I was really interested in, because if you will look, this is the 25th anniversary, and it includes, that's right, we've got essays by Howard Weinstein, Peter David, Michael Jan Friedman. So a lot of great Trek authors have also done some essays in this. I took a little bit of time to read that, and I read Peter David's in there, and it was pretty interesting, him telling how he got into Star Trek through the Star Trek conventions. But really loved the art in this one. So I definitely am going to read through this one sometime soon. But just in flipping through it, I did like what I saw. And at the end here, they got some really great stuff that I want to show you here. So here we have, these are the essays in the end. You have Chris Claremont, Michael Jan Friedman, Peter David, Howard Weinstein. And here in the end, they have some excellent art. So let's have a look at that. I'll try to get a little bit closer here if I can, too. I can actually have a look at it there, but so this book really struck me. And just especially all these additional ones they had here in the end. Look at this little check-off piece. Nice. I like that Spock. That's well done. Kind of a cool one. Oh yeah, this one especially was pretty cool. Look at that. I don't know if this is him, if he'd killed Kirk. Bones aghast in the background. And then this nice kind of 25-year special with a little bit of both shows there. And then they got at the end, I think they have a little part where you can write in and ask questions. So, two good comics on the cheap, and just kind of sitting right there where I could see them. So, it's always fun. So, in addition to those comics, we found 3 more of these retro sci-fi magazines here. They're not all completely Star Trek, but they had enough. At least most of them did. Now, this very first one here, this is Superstar Heroes. which is, I think, from 1977. 1979. But this features Star Trek movie Spock Puts His Ears Back On. So I've marked the page there. Here we go. So here we got a little behind the scenes of Mr. Spock getting his ears put on. And it was, the article I kind of perused, it was mainly about getting Spock to come back to do the movie. And I do like what he says here about the outfits. So here's a quote from Nimoy here about the outfits. The outfits are fantastic, says Nimoy. I've got a well-cut suit, complete with abalone shell buttons and a mother-of-pearl belt. Quite a change from the old days. Points out Shatner, my living quarters look like a suite at the Plaza Hotel. In the old TV series, it was more like a closet at the Plaza. So, I love reading through these old magazines and getting to read these old interviews and things like that. It's just kind of like almost like a lost media at this point, even though maybe a lot of this stuff has been scanned in by fans over the time. So, magazine number 2. This is a sci-fi magazine produced in 1984 called Enterprise Incidents. So as you can imagine, this features quite a bit more of the Star Trek and a little bit less of the other stuff. But we'll take our time here and just kind of flip through this and see what it has to offer us. Here we have Star Trek 4 being prepared to begin production April 1984. Wow. He's on the last starfighter here. Now here we go. If you are interested, for the computer jocks, interested in the methods and system used in the computer animation of the Genesis effect from Wrath of Khan, done by Mr. William T. Reeves, there is a magazine available with such information. And you can order it. Probably not anymore. A nice little piece on Dune. And in here, we'll see someone we might recognize. Eagle-eyed people will see our good Captain Picard there in his role in Dune. That was an interview with Angelique Pettyjohn. I just skipped right over that. So again, just so cool that all these different old interviews and things like that. Oh, okay. Now this is the stuff that I really like to see. So here is basically an order form for Star Trek, the role-playing game. And just all the little detail and all the little things that you can order. So cool. I definitely want to read through that. Here we go. A close look at some environmental suits. Mail order page. More stuff you can order from the magazine here. And looks like we're getting into some color stuff at the end. The Klingon ship model made for the motion picture there. I'm not sure. It looks like a shuttlecraft, maybe. Beginnings of a shuttlecraft. Little back end there. Just very cool to see. And just to think that, like, I mean, now for us, anything that we want to know, we could just look up at like a moment's notice, you know. But back in the day, this is all there was. Like, this is how you got your news. This is how you got your information about your favorite shows, you know. So just taking you back to a different era. So here's a closer look at the second pilot with some interesting pictures here. And here we go. This is good. Some bloopers here. So I guess just some kind of off pictures or something. What do I got? Just a smiling Bones here. And then the crew maybe just kind of cracking up behind the scenes there. Oh, here we go. That's kind of a good one. Spock smiling. And this girl's sticking her tongue out. So there's your bloopers, from back in '84. That's what you get in the magazine. And it looks like that one's kind of finishing up here with a few other sci-fi stories. And that was the Enterprise incidents. Now the last one, which I think was maybe about the coolest one here, was this Media Spotlight, which was, this is from 1977. Seen some better days, but it's an interesting old magazine. So here you have Takai, looking fresh as always there. So here, oh man, look at that. I've never listened to that, but this is talking about Leonard Nimoy's Mr. Spock's music from outer space. Nice little sketch of Uhura there. So this one does go, I think it talks a little bit more about the other kind of sci-fi things that were going on at the time. Let's see where we can get to. Oh, here we go. So here's your sign-up page for the magazine. Imagine teleporting on board the USS Enterprise. Very cool. Here we go. So I thought this was interesting. You could join the Media Spotlight Brotherhood of Vulcan at one point. All you had to do, pay $10 for the year, and this is what you would get. A quarterly newsletter sent out. The newsletter is designed to keep you abreast of current SF trends, sci-fi trends, developments, and technical advice. You get an official Brotherhood press card that you can use when you go to cons to let everyone know you're a member of the Brotherhood of Vulcan, and a wallet-sized membership card that will give you various discounts. I would love to send $10 into the Urjax Enterprises Inc. today and see if I could still become a member of the Brotherhood of Vulcan. It could still be possible. Maybe they're still sending out the cards. So this, oh look at that, that's really cool. A whole little section there on the Lord of the Rings. Okay, alright, keep moving. Oh, here we go. The Robots of Star Trek. A little article here by Howard Phillips. Isn't it grand that robots come in all shapes and sizes? So there's Kirk staring at the fembots there. Oh yeah, that guy was awesome. Oh, and in the end here, getting close to the end, we have an actual interview with Nichelle Nichols. So let's see if we can find anything interesting there. Okay, wow, there's a lot going on here. Did you enjoy doing the animated Star Trek? Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a really lot of fun because you went in and recorded your lines separately from everyone else, and very often everything was out of context. Usually it turned out to be the kind of funny. Some of the situations that occurred were kind of humorous. Many times I'd run in and do my lines, and I didn't even know what the show was. I find myself saying, why am I saying this? The people would have to explain to me what the show was about. It was nothing like shooting a regular series. Yeah, I can see that. Did you feel the animated Star Trek was up to the quality of the original series? Yeah, I think the stories were as good, and some were even better than most of the original Star Trek shows. This is getting kind of good. I also feel that way too. The animated Star Trek, even the old stuff and the new stuff, is also very good. So, great long interview with Nichelle there. We've got Inside Science Fiction, just more. We get just more people writing about what they love, So, I love that. So, new Roddenberry projects, a special report from Starfleet Command. Well, that's a cool one. Spock and some Andorians. And here in the end, we have the Star Trek Sales Center. And of course, in these old magazines, these are always some of the funnest things to have a look at here. So you can get your Star Trek stamps. You can get some collector's specials, newsletters. Of course, your Star Trek money there at the bottom. Of course, I got all the old books listed there at the bottom. Full color 6-foot posters. Can you imagine if any of those were still around today? All sorts of good stuff that you could send in for at fairly nice prices. That 6-foot poster, you could get 2 of them for $7. Imagine that, Kirk and Spock, life size, hanging out. Oh, there's a whole other page of this too. Star Trek Lives balloons, 6 for 50 cents. Give me a dozen. Oh, this is good. Get your back issues ordered. Still more thrilling Worlds of Tomorrow to come. I don't know who that is on the back cover, but an interesting photograph. So that was my retro Star Trek magazine haul for today. I have to say, pretty good. The guy was like, I have 2 more boxes at home, and I will bring them next time. So, yes, I will check that out. So, again, thanks for sitting down with me and having a look at my Star Trek magazine haul today. We're going to sign off now so that we can jump right back into the world of Rihansu and see what Dr. McCoy has got himself into in this very fun second part of the Rihansu saga here. And as I slowly fade out of focus, we will say goodbye. So as always, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Live long and prosper, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.